Yeah, so we're live now. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And we are welcoming you today to the workshop. That's the second room, like third room rather, for the AWS Community Day, which is going to be happening tomorrow. And so I'm here with our speaker, that's Mr. Williams Olawo. Yeah, sorry, I think I pronounced that correctly, right? Mr. Williams. Oh, hope I tried,
Yeah,
please.
Olawu.
Okay,
It's
yeah. Sorry, my bad.
heavy.
Oh,
No
let me just
problem.
try the on camera. Yeah, so Mr. Williams is a cloud and DevOps engineer with over 5 years of experience in DevOps. Let me try and bring up the media so that you can actually see this. Sorry, I'm coming. Yeah, okay. So, Mr. Williams is a cloud DevOps and DevOps engineer with over 5 years of experience building scalable architectures, automating infrastructure, and driving cost optimization across AWS, Azure, Huawei Cloud, and as the first Finops certified practitioner in the country, he has led initiatives that improved cost transparency and delivered significant cost savings, including a 20% reduction through automation and resizing strategies. Passionate about community growth, Mr. Williams has mentored aspiring engineers, authored technical books, and actively contributing to open source projects. So let's welcome our speaker onto the stage, and then let's maintain a perfect audience while he continue without any distraction. Yeah, thank you, sir, Mr. Williams. You can start now. You are almost out of time, and you have 10 minutes for the speaking session. While we'll be having 15 minutes question and answer session, and if you're not able to finish, you can actually just like the scheduled time. Maybe you use 35 or 40 minutes for the main session, while you use the other minutes for the question and answer session. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Elias. And
Yeah.
it's actually very great to be here. And so today I'll be talking very briefly about FinOps. And yeah, I'm very sure it's a very new concept, especially in the cloud for many of us, right? And so I believe we're going to like get the best value from what we'll be presenting today. So I'll be
Oh, I think that's his network. Please let's give him some few minutes to join back, please. Whew. While you are waiting, welcome every one of you that's just joining us live. And we'll be expecting to see you all tomorrow at our AWS Community Day happening at the Ilorin Innovation Hub, Kwara State, Nigeria. Whether you'll be joining us physically or you're going to be joining online, you're all welcome. Okay. Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, I was trying to like share the screen and I possibly like
Okay.
muted. Right, okay, so I'll be sharing my screen now. Um,
Let me also just pull up the um
yeah, if you have my slides, you can probably like pull it up. So,
yeah, yeah. I'm uploading it already. To soon be up now. Just
okay,
network stuff, yeah.
right.
It's coming. Yeah, almost done.
Okay, I'm actually having like an issue sharing from my end. So I've been actually
Okay.
nice to do that.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
Yes. Right. So FinOps basically it's yeah, like I said, it's probably like a new concept to many of us here. But I'll just like love to give a background story before the slide comes up, right? So the cloud adoption framework has started like way back in 2008. Or I think around 2020 during the time of the COVID, era, everybody started like adopting what cloud, right? Everybody started adopting cloud and uh, it was around that 2020 that AWS was able to like have like two times what their normal income, right? Because everybody was trying to move to the cloud. Everybody wants to work from home and all of that, right? So, but yeah, in architecture and scalability, agility, trying to achieve agility, scalability, and all of that, it was discovered, right, that cost was actually increasing. Although cloud claims to like give you a variable cost model and all of that, and they also claim to provide, reliability, all of those things. And actually, they actually do, but because many people don't know the right way or the right approach, right, to go into the cloud. They just lift what they have on prem and they drop it on the cloud. For many of us that probably like started, got into tech like 2 years, 3 years ago, you might not really be aware of how the on-prem resources work, right? It's actually like that's what, in fact, even up to now we still have like many companies and organizations still working on that, right? One of the reasons for that is because of like data residency and all of that, right? So moving migrate to the cloud has actually like incurred cloud spend. Like it has actually, instead of you're able to like deliver value, but when you look at it compared to your business value, we are having 1,000, or we are taking, spending almost a million USD on cloud per year. And I'm saying that because I've actually like seen that spend actually working with some organization. So it's the spend up to that, right? Is it actually like generating revenue? How does it equate to what value we're giving? So that's basically what, why Finops came. And Finops is an idea of the Linux Foundation. I'm sure a lot of us here also are like aware of what, the Linux Foundation is all about. Yeah, so talking this evening about, or morning, wherever you're joining us from, right? About the smarter cloud, smarter spend, and applying FinOps to, and cost optimization on AWS. Yeah. Can you go to the next slide? All right. So a little bit about myself. As earlier stated, my name is William Olawo, and I'm a cloud and DevOps engineer, right? Uh, you might be surprised to find out that I did physics in my undergrad. But yeah, I think it was in my final year. I just was like, oh, what am I going to do? And that was not because I was not doing well in school. Actually, by grace of God, I was able to like finish with a very good grade, right? Yeah, yeah. So, and But at my final year, I was able to I was just thinking, oh, what would I do after now? Then I stumbled on a program like this, right? They talked about DevOps, and I was like, oh, wow, I think I want to do this. Yeah, so that's how I started my journey. And I was able to like take a diploma in DevOps. Yeah, that's, it's good there to prove that. And some other certifications in the cloud, multi-cloud, Aviatrix and Finops, Kubernetes and all of that. Yeah, so, and yeah, I love to, you know, like many of us, we have hobbies, right? So I love to watch football here once in a while, right? So that's part of my hobby. So that's just that about me. So let's go into the main discussion, introduction to Finops, which should be the next slide. Right. So yeah. So what are we talking about today? Finops. Why does it matter? Yeah, and so yeah, as a DevOps engineer, migrating from I'm still a DevOps engineer, sticker. So, but comparing what DevOps offers for the software development lifecycle, that's the from the plan to the operate stage to the monitoring stage, right? So we also have like a circle for FinOps also for FinOps adoption, which I'll be using to explain some of the points I'll be talking about in today's lecture, today's slides, right? So, which is from the inform phase to the optimize phase and the operate stage. It's a cycle, right? It's a journey, it's a cycle. Just like DevOps have that infinity sign, yeah, we have the FinOps also having that circular sign. Yeah, you can go to the next slide, and then I'll talk about my journey, how you can adopt FinOps in your organization, and how you also as like an individual can, yeah, start your journey in FinOps. I was hoping I would love to do a quick demo of just like an informed phase of how AWS adopted FinOps, right? If we have that enough time. Right. Okay. So this next slide is supposed to show a an animation of how FinOps merges or how DevOps, became FinOps. Yeah, I don't know why that is not playing now, but yeah. So DevOps being, like I said, as the uh, software development lifecycle, but now we have to now consider adding finance into our, what we are discussing. So we are not just like as engineers, we're not just okay, our own is just to deploy, our own is just to have applications running. We also want to see, we want to consider, okay, what is the market value? What is this adding to our business? If as an engineer you don't have a business mindset, actually, it's not it's you might not really, be very effective. It's very important to also like consider the financial implication of what we're doing. Somebody made a post, that I read some days ago and said, is why we're adopting Kubernetes. Is it because our CTO just came from a tech event, or we actually need to, right? Sometimes people just want to test uh, applications, or okay, someone just came from AWS event last 2 days, and they're like, oh, we have to start working on this AWS agent and all of that, right? So what's the financial application of that? So, and how does it drive our business value? So that's what FinOps, right, is all about. And like I said, it's from the inform phase to the optimize and the operate stage. Yes, so you can go to the next slide. So the inform phase actually is more of visibility, awareness. Everybody wants to know, needs to know. We actually need to implement this, right? Then optimize is where you now start taking actions. What are the actions you're going to be taking? Operate is then now automating those processes that you're working on. Uh, FinOps really it's about people, process, and technology. And just like DevOps, right? DevOps is a culture. FinOps is also a culture. Yeah, there are tools. There are tools for DevOps. There's the GitHub Actions. There was the Jenkins, some years ago. I don't know if anyone is still using Jenkins now, but yeah, we have the GitHub Actions, we have the GitLab CI, we have the Azure DevOps, and we have the AWS, uh, deploy, code build, and deploy, and all of that. So we have the technology. So for FinOps also, we have certain tools which actually has been implemented to cloud platform, on-prem resources, and what have you. So it's the process of bringing people to speak the same language. So it's not like as an engineer, I'm going to talk to my CFO and I'm like, oh, we want to deploy 5 EC2 instance. She doesn't know what that is, right? When you have a FinOps organize, when you're adopting FinOps, the first thing is to make the people to understand, okay, we have to speak the same language. What's the language that financial guys understand? What's the language that the technical guys understand? So then we come to a consensus. So I'm going to talk deeper about that when we get to like the organization adoption, right? So that's just basically it. Now talking about the FinOps framework, this is everything you need to know about FinOps. If you understand this, I tell you, you understand you've gotten the goal of FinOps already, right? Yeah, so this is from the Finops Foundation, it's from their website, and this is all they talk about. So you can see from here, the first thing here we see bringing business strategy and technology. It's not just technology, it's not just cloud, it's not just, oh, we want to deploy on AWS, it's not just we want to do this. We are, you know, technology is evolving every day. But as a businessman, as a business-minded engineer, you want to think that how is this affecting the business, right? And it ranges from the scope of public cloud, this SaaS solution. So for the public cloud, we all, yeah, AWS being the number one, right? And for SaaS solution, some organizations, use tools like cPanel to deploy their infrastructure, right? To deploy their code and all of that, right? So how do we look at the market? How do we analyze the cost and also see that it's actually affecting our business plan and all of that? Then for companies that are still working in data center, due to the so you might many of you might be thinking that, oh, data center is like an old thing. Actually, it's not, right? In fact, right now, hybrid solution is not old fashioned. It's actually like strategic architecture, right? So data center, it covers data center, covers licensing. You can do BYOL, that's bringing your license to the cloud. AI solution. Now, this is everybody's talking about AI. But yeah, you need to like be able to. AI is going to cost a lot. You cannot just deploy a model and just believe that you have deployed it, right? It's going to cost you money. I was trying to like run, yeah, a cloud model on the, yeah, an AI model on the cloud, and when I saw the bill I was like, wow. So you're not just going to be deploying model because you just want to deploy it. Look at how this is affecting the business and some other things also. So the it also talks about the core personas of FinOps practice. Is you can see here is that he has the engineering part, the FinOps practitioner. So for many of you that are probably like looking to like get into tech, and you probably like, oh, I don't want to do the coding and all of that. So being a FinOps practitioner is like one of the ways you can like get into cloud, right? There are upcoming roles. There are roles. At least I know one or two people that are currently working in as a FinOps engineer in one some, yeah, I think in Stanbic Bank and probably, yeah, some other place. So they are is a new role, right? That is coming up, right? And if you can align properly to understand all this concept, by the end of this lecture, I'm going to like share like where you can get started, right, and get your first certificate, your first FinOps certificate, right, and you can start building like on that. So, but from the engineering perspective, also, like either as a solution architect and all of that, you also want to when you're designing the architecture for your organization, you want to also look at it from a FinOps perspective, also carrying along the finance team and the leadership team. So the leadership team here is talking about everyone in uh that I call them the people that have the C at the beginning of their name and O at the end of it, right? The CTO, CFO, CIO, all of them, right? So being able to talk to them, right? Everybody having the same the same thing and all of that. Then procurement, products, yeah, having the same goal. Then these are the principles here. Teams must collaborate, definitely. Everybody must collaborate. Business value must drive technology decision. It's not just, like I said earlier, it's not just deploying to Kubernetes. You can still use a server, right? You can still use like an auto-scaling server, right? You don't have to necessarily just deploy Kubernetes on. Yeah, I'll probably like, you know, yeah, share my story also. Like Kubernetes is one of the reasons why I actually, looked into FinOps, right? Because it's costed me a lot some time ago, right? So yeah, you must. business value must drive technology decision, and everyone takes ownership of their cloud usage. So one from the giant perspective, one of the major thing that will be coming up, right, is when you're deploying your resource, right, you have to compulsorily add tags, right? So there are policies on. So that's why every cloud platform is adopting. So there are policies on AWS that come on every cloud platform, right? That you can mandatorily. So you let's assume you're the lead of the cloud in your department or anything, right? You have that policy assigned that everyone must attach this tag, because when they are tracing that who deployed this, why is this giving us so much cost? You're able to trace it to so and so, and then you have to answer the question, why is this running? So that's taking charge. Then the data should be accessible. In organizations, they don't give you permission to uh, check your billing data. No. So, but there are ways that the cloud has, that Finops has brought, into place to be able to ensure that we, everybody, everybody have access to billing data, which is part of one of the demos I want, like, I hope I'll be able to like show, right? Uh, then we FinOps should be enabled centrally. It's not a me thing. It's not a you thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go to my company tomorrow and tell them that we need to start so that they can promote me. No, everyone is going to be involved. It's a central thing. It's not just one person driving it. I say, me, I'm doing. No, it's a central thing. And then taking advantage of the variable cost model. Now, one advantage of cloud, right? Or one advantage that people migrate to the cloud or use cloud is because they charge you based on your usage, right? It can be an advantage and it can also be a disadvantage. If you maximize it, you will see that you're going to like actually save more. Okay, we want to start adopting AI, right? And then we have FinOps principles set in place. We'll be able to like easily test it and delete it immediately after use. If it works, we start using and paying for it. Then we now look for plans to start using it. But if it were to be before, you have to like go and buy server or buy GPUs and all of that, and you know you can't just afford to like spend that money to like innovate, right? So it's an advantage, right? But when people don't really like are not really concerned, and they're just, let's just make this thing work, and they just deploy and then leave resources running for like, that would be at a disadvantage. But if we take advantage of that variable cost model of the cloud, we're able to like innovate and all of that, right? And yeah, so that's basically the principles behind FinOps. So there are tools, there are policies, invoicing chargeback, education. Is all these things are part of the things that the FinOps Foundation like actually like enable. So they have the FinOps X, they have the pre-certifications, they have you know open source solutions, right, for people to use, right? So yeah, so we can go to the next slide now. So, but basically, understanding this framework helps you to like get to what FinOps is all about. Uh, yeah. So the next slide, my journey. Yeah, it was a very funny story, right? I was going to, yeah. I would actually like love to see if there are people like listening, so I'll be able to like hear their comments. Because yeah, I'm sure majority of us like started AWS and started working on AWS, and you have had more than one account, and the reason is not because AWS kick you out, it's because you're unable to pay, right? So I'm sure everybody has been there, yeah, except some rich folks, right? So but yeah, so it's because of that, being able to like spend, right? You so it came to a time that I was just like, oh, now I need to be serious with this thing, right? And I just said, oh, let me start working on Kubernetes. I'm a DevOps engineer. I'm learning Kubernetes. Then I deployed. I was working on the project. Of course, if you are really working on Kubernetes, you cannot finish the project in one day. You have to leave it running for as long as it works, especially when you're starting for the first time. That was what I did. And at the end of the month, I was like, whoa. I actually had credit on AWS at that time. But after I finished the project, actually, I'd spent my credit and I still had some bills to cover. right? So it was at that point I was like, no, this cannot be how organization is running, right? And then I just stumbled on a program and I was inspired by one of the speakers who is my mentor today. Shout out to him, right? He spoke so much about like Finops. I was like, whoa, I need to like get into this. I need to get into this. And that was the informed phase for me. I was able to like know that, oh yeah, there's something actually, there's a way to curb this actions, right? This bills gathering, right? So the optimized phase for me was I started taking the courses. I started with the introduction to FinOps. I started looking at what are people talking about it. If you go to the FinOps X, you know, check them online. You see a lot of talks how people have, saved, spend, right? One of the people we're working for currently, we're able to like, we're saving like almost like about 200 million. And actually, that's not like cap. It's they're spending more than that, way more, right? Boom. Yeah, implementing it. Now imagine saving that as a company and adding it to drive more innovation. It's actually like you want you don't they're actually impressed by they'll be impressed by your work as either a solution architect or whoever brought the initiative, because yeah, that's actually like a lot. So in front phase, so I was able to like do the certified pre practitioner. That's like $500, right? But yeah, like I said, shout out to my mentor again. He was able to like help me through that, right? And yeah, so for the operate phase for me now, I an active contributor of the FinOps Niger community. And like our AWS hero said, like I think it was just last week I saw the video that I was saying that community has helped to like build uh innovation in especially in Nigeria. The last time I went to the AWS event at Lagos, right, I saw I can't remember his name now. Yeah, he had the golden jacket. I was like, oh, this is very impressive, right? You see a lot of people and you be like, I'm challenged, I want to be more, right? So it's those are the things that communicate with people. You see how people are doing in their field. I think we have one of the sessions today. So that's the stage for me. Yeah, so that's the cycle for me. It continues. It doesn't stop for me, right? It continues. Then the next slide, please. So in the organization, how can we implement it for someone who is working as a cloud solution architect, DevOps engineer, whoever it is, right? Any engineer working in any company and you're focused on AWS, right? AWS has made it easy for you to like adopt FinOps. The first thing is to ensure visibility. And how do you get this? Is obviously like stated here, right? So they have the how you can like export your billing data to the object storage, which is S3, and then you on AWS again you can like run queries on those data. If you're exporting data to a bucket, right, you're definitely exporting as either CSV, JSON, or Paragraph, right? That's not structured data, right? But working with AWS has made it so easy that you can actually like query on structured data. That's like whoa, right? Yeah, using the glue and Athena, and then you can have custom dashboard. In fact, as I was preparing for this lecture, I was preparing for this slide. I was working on because I already did demo and I'd done the export and actually like fed it to an external source to like do the data dashboard for me. And then I just discovered that AWS like just I think probably it was because of the revamp they just finished that they added a new feature. There's a new feature on AWS now that you can actually like do a custom dashboard by yourself. So you don't have to like go through this route. Although you might still later have to go to this route for automation's sake. That dashboard is just like a one-time thing there, right? So yeah, that's telling you that yeah, cloud are actually like adopting this, right? Yeah. So the next slide. So using the inform and optimize the phase cycle again in an organization, everybody has to be aware. Everybody has to be aware. It's not that it's the CTO that will be coming to at the end of the month and at the end of the year and be like, oh, we have spent 300 million on cloud. Now I'm not don't think I'm what's it called forming figures in my head. That's how much companies can actually like spend, right, on cloud. Yeah. And I'm not talking about international, even in the country in Nigeria, right? So it's not just the city will just come. What happened? Everybody has to be aware. Okay, this is how much you're spending. This is what we need. This is what we are generating. It's not comparable, right? Then okay, we need to start finding a way to like improve this. Optimizing is taking the action. Now, what can we start doing? In implementing policies, implementing target structure, implementing dashboard. Monitoring is very key in uh in monitoring. In what's it called? In Finops, very key. Monitoring is very key. There's an illustration of a priority effect, right? For those people that are gurus, bookworm in this place, right? Yeah. So there's a theory of priority effect. What does that mean, or what does it connote? It means uh, when when priors is like a car model, right? Yeah, yeah, it's a car model. So they have this thing that you in the dashboard of the car where they show you how much fuel you're consuming by accelerating and all of that. So when a driver is saying that I bought, especially in Nigeria, and you're saying that, oh, I bought like 10K gallon of, or I bought like 10K, and I've already I've never taken like 5 kilometers and it has reached half. You're seeing it in your dashboard. It gives you like a sense of responsibility, right? That's the same thing. That's the same principle that was adopted for Grafana dashboard and all of that. It's the same thing that needs to be adopted also in FinOps. Monitor, everybody see that, oh, this is what I'm spending, this is what my resource is spending, or this is what my resource has been consuming, all of that. So that's an action that can be taken. And then operate is automating the process, right? Some weeks ago, I think I posted about a guy, that worked on AWS FinOps on the CLI. You'll be able to generate dashboard, generate all of those things. But all these things still, like I said, it's not just going there and generating it, right? You have to still adopt these principles, those tagging framework, all of those things. Everybody must be aware, for us to like be able to like adopt it. So that's like the organizational part. Then the next slide talks about how you as an individual can start like as a FinOps professional, right? How does it begin? Now I'm sure like my mentor like inspired me some months ago, right? You have been informed also, right? And I'm sure like someone probably out there might be saying, oh, yeah, how do I get started and all of that? Yeah, so that's the information. It's very, very key. Information, yeah, is very important. So we have been informed, right? And this is not like going to be the last of this kind. It's not going to be, yeah. So you still see more of FinOps talk, right? So because it's a cycle, right? It's a cycle. Yeah, so I would probably see if I can share the introduction to FinOps course. Yeah, probably I would. Yeah, so yeah, probably I would see if I can share, but because I don't know why this is not respondable. You can go to finops.org or type in the introduction to FinOps. It's a free certification that you can take, right, for you starting FinOps anywhere. At least start with that. Post that. Oh yeah, I'm now tag tag the FinOps community, right? They see that you're doing something on FinOps. That's you coming in. And we also have like a, a Nigerian community also. We have big people there that can also like help and guide you and all of that. And feel free to reach out to anyone. It's not like we are not like it's a community. That's what community is all about for yeah. So and then operate, how can we operate? It's also by collaboration. As we come together, right, we can build in-house solutions. Most of the FinOps tools, external tools, are actually from probably US, UK, and all of that. We can also build it. Nigerians have the capability of doing it. That's we operating. So I want to believe that we'll see one or two people coming into this. Yeah, so that's it's a cycle, and then we'll keep talking about it, keep discussing about, keep networking, optimizing, and innovating. Right. So I'm supposed to go to the demo now. I don't know if there's still time to do that. Yeah, but it's just a quick one.
Oh, no problem. You can do it. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, sir. Still have few time,
All
like
right.
few minutes now.
All right. So, but I want to share my screen. I don't know if I have the option because I find it difficult to actually select. Okay, let's hope this works.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, can you see my screen
Oh,
now?
yeah, I'll bring it up on stage now, Colin.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's there now. You can see.
All right, thank you. So this is actually like so if you look at this now, you see that the dashboard is actually like showing you. It was released just August. It just launched it August. So I'm able to like create a, a dashboard. Now, one thing there are actually a lot of things before this. So this is just like a personal test. So I just did this like a few days or weeks ago when I got the call or when I was going to speak. Yeah. So I started this right. So first of is I have like a resource that I've deployed with tags. Let's that's very like very important. So I have to like tag my resource. I deployed an EC2 instance. Yeah, the reason why I cannot show that in the air because it's actually like difficult to navigate this, right? So yeah, but I have this cloud resource running for almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, and so what I was able to do is to just so I now have the total cost showing everything that we're spending or we have spent so far. Yeah, I think I've spent $18. Yeah. But because of the tags, right, I was able to like group it into the engineering team, the finance team, and the marketing team. So I have for the engineering team, they have a- an RDS, an ECT instance, and I think an S3 bucket, not really costing them so much. And then for the finance team, they have an instance running and probably a bucket too that's just dormant there. Yeah, so the same thing for the marketing team. So how do I do this? So like I said, for an organization, you are not going to have access to your billing data, right? So it has to be someone who has access to this. I'll be able to do this, right? So because we have because most of us are probably have been working with our own account, so we might not really on the yeah, but I'm sure we'll actually like understand the principle of IAM and all of that, right? So uh you'll be given privilege based on the level you are in the organization. So it's going to be so that's why it's a collaborative effort. It's not just one person doing it. It's not just who I am the Finops practitioner and this is so it's everybody actually like working together to do it. So that's why the informed part is very, very important for everybody to be aware. So I have these resources deployed. Let me see if I can okay. Yeah, so yeah, the first thing just to go to the billing and cost management. You have you have here. So under this, you have like a lot of things that you can do. You have a lot of things that can be done. You can create a dashboard. You can check your credits. You can uh, have payment and all that. But what we'll be focusing on first off, when you deploy resources, right? Under this collection allocation tags, the first thing is to activate all of these tags. So one thing I've discovered about AWS is that if you are doing something or starting something new, especially when it comes to uh, the billing management, right? It takes more than it takes about 24 hours for it to activate. So if you are deploying a resource for the first time and the tag is probably like not part of this, right? You might not see it immediately. So you might have to like wait for like 24 hours for it to come up. So this is where you first activate your tags, right? You activate your tag. So for me, the resource that I deployed had the department tag and the cost center tag. So the reason why those two are important is because department department is showing okay where is this coming from? which department is coming from. Then the cost center is who is responsible for the billing, or who are going to bill when we see this resource and all of that. Yeah, so the actual you can also go that deep dive into like tagging framework, depend on what you agree on an organization that okay, wants to okay, who actually owns it? Is it Elias or is it William or is it Abdul Karim or anybody, right? Yeah, so you can go down into that. Then you now come here to like activate the tag keys. So if I check cost center, yeah, think yeah, it should be active already. Yeah, because I've already done the activation. So it's going to be active. Then the department so and all of that. So then the second thing to do, right, is to yeah, before I go to the dashboard, first off, the second thing to do here is to like create a data export. Okay. Yeah, so create a data export. So what the data export does is that it helps you to like export your billing resource, like your billing data. Don't forget that this is not going to like be exposed to everybody. So it helps you to like export it to most likely uh, an object storage, which is in this case an S3 bucket. Now, so it's pretty straightforward. Your export name, what do you want to name it? My Finop exports, right? And then now there are different ways you can like format your table. So AWS has his own their own structure, which is the CUR, but Finops actually like has made it unified using the focus format. So focus like helps you. So if you go to like other cloud provider or you go to any on-prem stuff, if you check their billing structure, you see this focus there. This is to help organizations that have like two or more, maybe like an hybrid infrastructure, or they are using the multi-cloud, right? To have the same header in their export. So it's not like somebody is showing service and that one is saying because the way AWS name resource is actually like different from the way any other cloud provider name resource, right? So Focus helps unifies it. So any export I'll be doing as a finance practitioner or anyone that is in charge of this will be using the focus format, right? So and then hourly depends on how your organization like deploy resources, but yeah, most times we only use the daily and the monthly, export. And yeah, Paraquet. The Paraquet format is like the easiest to work with. Yeah, so the reason why I use this CSV or text format is because sometimes I just want to like see the data it looks like. But yeah, when you're like doing the automation, you just export as Paraquet. And yeah, this is where you configure the part you want to deploy your resource to. And for me, I have an existing bucket. So this is why I'm not doing this right now is because I've done this. And if I do this, it take like 24 hours for it to like, activate and all that. So, but it's just like a walkthrough so that we get uh, something out of it, right? So after creating this, you would see that your export would have, gone through. So let me show you what this would look like. For me, here I have this. So it's showing that okay, I have this column name, billing calls, billing accounts ID. So these are the ones I actually like selected, right? So and if you go to any other platform, any other either cloud, on-prem, using the focus format, you have all of this, right? So and then you can see, yeah, I think I actually exported this. I use it. Destination of my data export is here. Okay. So you would see the formats that is going to like come, in. I can't remember what export I did, maybe daily or monthly. I'm not sure, but yeah. So you can see like in this extra bucket, you have the folder for the data, right? So after doing all of this, then you now go to the AWS Glue. Like, this is actually like a long process, right? But yeah, it's actually important to be able to like get the end goal of what you want to do. So what the AWS Glue does is that it helps you like to interacts with uh, unstructured data in a structured format, right? So what I'll be doing here is on the data catalog, there's this function called crawlers. So what crawlers does is that it converts the unstructured data to structured format and it sets it in table, creates a database and then sets it in table. So you don't have to like go through the process of now this thing I'm probably like talking about is more relatable to people that are probably like data guys and probably database engineers. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of like also like straightforward, right? So create a crawler instead of having that unstructured form of data, is converting it to like a database and then creating the table in a SQL format, right? So this is what the crawler does basically, and it's very straightforward to have a name. So all this
Yeah.
I'm still using.
Sorry, the time.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So just
so
be
yeah,
fast so
so
that.
let me just like run through this. We'll be able to add the data source for this using the S3 bucket, right? Add it, and it automatically converts it to a MySQL format, right? And we're able to like interact with it from the Athena. Yeah, it's much. Yeah, so Athena provides like a SQL endpoints where you can like interact with all of this. So having done all of this, right, we'll be able to, export our data to whatever platform we want to use. AWS has like quick sites where you can do like a data. Or there's also like a Power BI stuff where you can like do like a dashboard that looks like this and all of that. And probably if you don't like go through that method, you can also explore this dashboard. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So because of time, I might not be able to like, go so deep into it, right? But yeah, pretty straightforward. Create a new dashboard, add a widget, you know, just like Grafana. If you are very familiar with Grafana, it's kind of you know straightforward. So the reason I want to show this is just to like show where the tag is actually like important, right? So this is where I would choose my tag and the cost center and the department. So if I see this, I'll be able to like choose the value. Okay, I want to create for engineering, right? I want to do for the engineering department. Yeah, so this automatically generates a specific dashboard for engineering department because of the tag, right? And then you can, have a tag or a dashboard that looks like this. So that's just yeah. So I think that's basically it for now. Yeah. I don't know if anyone has any question, if I have any question, or if there's something I probably missed that I promised I was going to do that I've not done. Yeah, so let me know. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Really appreciate the session, and it's been a very insightful one. Really appreciate. I wish a lot of people are actually online currently to really appreciate the richness of the content that you actually provide for us. Really appreciate that. You deserve to be. So I don't know if anyone has a question. Please, if you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section. So wait for like a few minutes before if you see everyone that has a question, so you can address it. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any question, anyways, but let me just ask this question in case for any future needs for people that will be watching this live streaming the recorded session. Yeah, so
Okay.
for someone that's not coming from tech background at all, probably that just wanted to get started in tech, is FinOps something for them to consider?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. It's actually like a good one. Yeah, and I think I talked about it that it's actually like a you don't have to be a technical person, right, to go into FinOps or to start FinOps, right? It's in fact most of the people that are really like FinOps practitioners today, most of them I've met and they are more of from either business intelligence or all these community builder guys, right? Because that's like one of the reasons why I feel like people in community will actually like want to like go into it because I know they would do more of like organizing and all of that. So it's if you have like a management, I have a management skill. Like, you can manage people, you can coordinate stuff. It's that's you're like the major point of contact, right? So of course, that's why it's important to also like take the FinOps course, and it actually like it's going to break down every form of technicalities in cloud for you. So there's a section, there's a FinOps course that is meant for different people. There's one for engineering, there's one for finance. If you're like coming from the finance background, if you're coming from uh, whatever niche you're coming from, you see one that is actually like suitable for you. Just for us to like have that collaborative thingy, right? So it's not you that will be implementing the dashboard. It's not you that will be automating the script. It's not you that will be, implementing the policies, right? All you just have to do is understand the idea, what you need to do, understand what's, just basic stuff, and yeah, you're good to go. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The general answer is thank you so much, sir. I think we've come to the end of the session. Really appreciate you, sir, Mr. Williams, and really appreciate you so much, very, very much. So I don't know if there is anything you wanted to share with us too, but now I think we're done. We are good to run it up.
All right. Thank you so much. Also, look
You
forward to
for
seeing your faces or seeing you some other time, probably in one of our events and all of that. Right.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, sir. Yeah, to the audience, we'll be expecting to see you all, your nice faces tomorrow at the our community day, which will be happening at the Learning Innovation Hub, Kwara State, Nigeria. So if you can't be there physically, yeah, you can also join us online to celebrate the event. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you for joining. Bye.